Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for meeting us for our VSLO FAQ Session 2 as a follow-up session to the one that we had last month. We're really excited to have several members of our Okra team, as well as from Student Affairs and from undergraduate medical education present with us to help support you. You are. So first off, we want to acknowledge and say, right, Cadis to an audit. The time when you originally accepted your offer, you're making that decision off of the information and the best info that you have at that given time. You're already doing your best to do that. And so if another opportunity comes up, let them know as soon as possible. We typically recommend that no less than 4 to 6 weeks. Let them know as early as you can. Be diplomatic, thank them, tell them, I'm sorry, but due to scheduling conflicts, I'll need to decline this rotation at this time. And remember, less is more. You don't have to explain everything to them. Less is more. Our next question is, can I do a 3-week critical care sub-I away rotation? And we have Stephanie here to help us with answering that question.
Yes, so the answer is basically no, but I will explain. Critical care and sub-I rotations, the requirement is a minimum of 4 consecutive weeks, including the hour requirement of 160 hours, as well as additional requirements. If you still want to do the rotation, let's say you received an offer at UCLA and they only offer 3 weeks for a clinical care rotation, but you still really want to do it. You can do that rotation, but on our end, it will be classified as a clinical elective. So you will be required to find another rotation that meets the requirements for us to classify it as such. You can always reference the MS4 clerkship guide on the Canvas tile, and that will break down all of the requirements for each of the requirements that you are required to take. I know that was a lot of required words, but it's just a double check. But if you are also just unsure and want to, talk it out with one of the MS4 team members, please do reach out.
Thank you, Stephanie. Our next one is also for Stephanie. How many away rotations should I be doing?
Okay, this one is pretty much student dependent. And also it's based on the competitiveness of the specialty. So for example, we have OB-GYN residency bound students that may do 3 to 6 of OB-GYN rotations, and that could include clinical electives as well as a sub-I rotation. So it really just depends on what your residency goals are, but we work with you on making sure that all of your requirements are met within those requirements. So let's say you want to go on all your away rotations for all your V requirements. That is possible. We've had a few students do that. It is definitely your choice, but we will just double make sure that they're meeting the requirements that you need to graduate.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, our next question is, I've submitted a AAMC standard immunization form, but they are now asking for further titers and I'm unable to obtain an appointment through my primary care physician. What can I do? So if this situation comes up, I recommend that you contact and email me immediately. As many of you know, I also work at Student Health, and we have a new partnership with Student Health where, if you are in this situation, Student Health will be able to accommodate you. So if you contact me, I can make you an appointment and you can get this service done immediately so that you can, there won't be a delay in your application. Cost of it, if you have G-SHIP, it will be covered obviously through your insurance. If you have our student health insurance, School of Medicine will be covering the cost for you. How do I obtain a dean's letter? And we'll hand this over to our registrar's office.
So dean's letters of good standing can be obtained by emailing me directly. In my absence, you can email Liz Alday and we can get that turned around for you. We do ask for about a 48-hour lead time in order to get those letters out to you.
Thank you, Sherry. And Humberto, can you clarify why that's in quotations?
Sure. So there may be an instance that you're applying to an OA rotation where some residents may be able to apply to that as well. So residents indeed do have access to their medical student performance evaluation at the moment, and they are being asked to submit that. While your medical student performance evaluation is also known as a dean's letter, you don't have that yet available because you are yet to complete year 3. So just be mindful if you have some confusion, whether it's the medical student performance evaluation or a letter of good standing from the dean, just double check with Okra, with the 4th year team, or with the Office of the Registrars.
Thank you for the clarification, Humberto. Where can I get letters of recommendation? So this will we'll have Dr. Middle answer this question for us. Thank you, Dr. Middle.
Hi, everyone. So letters of recommendation are, I think, tricky to ask for and get. And we have another slide on basic etiquette of how to ask for it. So stay tuned for that one. But I just want to remind you guys that you can get letters of rec on any single rotation. So if you're applying surgery and you're on a SICU rotation, it is totally appropriate and I think very useful to ask for a letter of recommendation on the surgical ICU because the people writing that will still be surgeons. I think instead of trying to make sure you get it from a general surgery rotation or a vascular surgery rotation, getting it from a surgeon that can really just attest to how hard you work and what a good student and how much of a benefit you will be to them as a resident is going to be more important than making sure you get it just from a general surgeon as opposed to a subspecialist within surgery. Same thing for like medicine, pediatrics, any of these. Getting a very strong letter of rec on an ICU rotation or a cardiology rotation is going to be just as effective as getting it from your hospitalist or your outpatient primary care rotation that you're doing if you're applying IM or pediatrics. So, don't be afraid of getting these subspecialty letters of rec, and they can often be really helpful because a lot of those are inpatient and you're putting in a lot of hours so they get a lot of contact with you and they can really write a personalized strong letter of recommendation. What we've seen in the past is a lot of students are delaying some of these more required rotations until after interviews are done because they're concerned that they can't get the letters of rec. And I just want to assure you that you absolutely can ask for those letters of rec on those rotations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Middle. And we have the next one for you as well. So what's the etiquette for getting that, Dr. Middle?
I think I'm going to pass this actually on to Darnell. She had a really good primer, and then I'll add anything else that I think maybe I can add to that. So, okay. Darnell, can I have you do this one?
Of course. Thank you so much, Dr. Middle. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all, and I look forward to working with you. My name again is Darnell Sai. So when I was thinking about this question, what prompted to my mind was, I have helped my PD write these letters to medical student when I was a residency coordinator back in the day. So I put together a 5-step of helpful tips of what you can do when you're thinking about your letter recommendation. My first step would be to make sure to stay engaged on your rotation so that you can ask thoughtful questions, right? So depending on what they're going to write on your letter recommendation. Your step 2 would be asking the right time. You want to be able to ask those letter recommendation at the end of your rotation. So while your performance is still fresh in their mind, because they meet with so many medical students and they will forget. 3 will be, you might want to make it easy for them. So when you are asking them for those letters, be polite about it. Ask them if they will be comfortable in writing you those letters, and make sure to attach your CV. Oftentimes, maybe if you have your ERAS letter ID, attach that as well. Draft your personal statement. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can groom it later on when you send it over to your residency application. And maybe you might want to list some of the contribution that you may have contributed during your rotation. Step 4 would be have a clear instruction and expectation for them because they do get very busy. And write a deadline, a soft deadline for them when you think they might be able to need to get this letter done. And last but not the least, you might want to do a thank you. And I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Maral so she can go ahead and fill in the gaps for me.
Yeah, I think that was a really good 5 steps. I'm gonna enhance a few of those. One is when you're asking them, like in my rotation, the attendings switch every week. So asking me at the end of my week and not at the end of the month is totally appropriate. You don't have to wait for the entire month to finish. But asking me at the end of the week and asking specifically, can you write me a strong letter of recommendation? Not just can you write me a letter of recommendation? Can you write me a strong one is an important one. The other things that I would like to add, having everything in one email, like, hi, thank you for agreeing to write this. I've attached my CV and a draft of my personal statement. I'm hoping to have all of my letters of rec uploaded by this date. But that date needs to be quite a long buffer. I have a lot of things on my calendar on any day. So if you come to me and ask me for a letter next week, even if I think I can write you a good one, I don't have the room to be thoughtful and carve out time to write you a good letter of rec within 1 week on my calendar sometimes. So giving at least a month is totally, totally more appropriate and expected for a letter of rec. At a pinch, 2 weeks. And then when you're asking for that letter of rec in a 2-week time frame, I would say, I know this is going to be a really short time frame, but I need my letter of rec by this time. Do you think you'd be able to get it done by then? Not just like saying, oh, I want it done, I'll send you an email. If you're on a short time frame, give them that, because what if this week there's I'm on ICU and it gets busy, and next week I'm on vacation, and so then I can't do it, right? So just being upfront when you're asking them about your expectations too is helpful. And then make sure in March, when I write a letter of rec, I try to do a really good job. I really am committed to making it personalized and selling you as a candidate. So when you match months and months and months later, please let me know where you matched. I'm invested in you. Like, I care. I've spent this time. So let me know, because it's wonderful to share your successes and celebrate with you as well. Thanks.
Well, Dr. Middle already covered our last one too. So again, thank you so much for watching this VSLO FAQ. Again, continue to send us questions if they can come up. And please remember, we are all here to support you. Thank you.